What's up, y'all? This is Dream Girl 360 coming to you again with another video. Other than the constant anti-poly attacks that I receive about my videos, I also receive numerous requests for advice from women with their poly-related relationship issues. It could be from either the existing wife or the prospective wives, and sometimes I get men asking me how to sell the idea to their women. Sometimes I get letters from couples as a whole asking for advice on how to grow their family. And sometimes I get letters from individuals who just want to learn about polygyny. But regardless of the dynamic, many have requested my husband's insight and the advice that he has for the men. So men, listen up. In this video, we will delve into the necessary characteristics of a man who is capable of sustaining a fruitful polygynous lifestyle. And women, it would do you good to listen to this as well, because it will help you ascertain whether or not the man you are involved with or the man you are pursuing or who is pursuing you has the necessary characteristics for a man to live a harmonious and prosperous polygynous lifestyle. So here we go.
Alright, so I'll be talking from some footnotes that I punched in earlier. This will help me stay on point. I tend to get lost sometimes. Alright, so we're going to do this, right? So alright, so first of all, any man who has not displayed the capacity to be committed to and responsible to at least one woman has no business with polygyny. Before a man can consider taking a second wife, he must be more than comfortable with his relationship with the first, and must be more than comfortable in catering to her needs. I don't think this needs any explanation right there. If a man has not yet been able to build and maintain something real or substantial and positive with a woman, it is ridiculous for him to even think of polygyny. He has to have at least proved to himself, not necessarily to anyone else, but to himself, that he is well capable of being a full and proper man to at least one sister. Alright. Now, basically what this is saying is that what I'm trying to say here is that I don't understand how a man could, well, I could understand how a man could think about how a single man could think about wanting, many wives. But the reality of it, like what I've noticed with a lot of men, they hear polygyny and they get excited because what they see is more women. I'm gonna have two, that'd be great. But it doesn't seem that they understand that you're not having two women, you're having two wives, two women that you're responsible for, right? And a lot of times it's because they themselves don't understand what it is to be responsible for a woman. You understand? Some of them that I've said that are actually married, but you could just see within the way they conduct themselves in their marriage, they're not proper husbands to their wives. Honestly, if a man properly understands what he's getting himself into, he's gonna do a lot of thinking about it, because you're gonna have to do a lot of introspection on yourself. You're gonna have to analyze yourself to see, man, do I really, because you're not just gonna have a sister that you're gonna be messing with. You're gonna have a wife that you're gonna be committed to. You're going to have some duties that you're going to have to perform in that relationship, and responsibilities that you will have to uphold. Remember, marriage is a contractual agreement, right? Now, a contract is basically a binding agreement between two or more parties. So now the word binding shows that you have to be committed to that agreement. So you have to fulfill your end of whatever that is negotiated. Now when you come to marriage, you come to you're gonna have like the individuals things that each person are gonna want out of their particular marriage. But then just dealing with man as an animal, just like in all animals, like in the with the lions, you have the lionesses go out and do the hunting, but then you have the man who defends the pride. Just like all animals, you have certain roles and duties that the women perform and the men perform, simply because we're just we're built to perform these roles. And the fact that we're sexual creatures and not asexual creatures show that male and female will have to meet at some point for to engage in the reproductive act to ensure continuity of the species. So now that meeting there's certain stipulations that that there's certain guidelines the man has to follow with that meeting, and certain guidelines the female has to follow. So a man who is trying to get into that kind of lifestyle, he has to first be able to fulfill these obligations as the male gender in his species, right? Fulfill the obligations of the male gender in his species to the female gender in his species. If not, if you can't do that with one, then to think about doing it with two is ridiculous. Alright, so, and here, we have to always remember that it's just simply that not all men are built with the mechanics that allow them to be good husbands. Some men may have had it at one point in time, but then through the passage of time, through the experiences, they've lost it, they've gotten damaged, and a lot of them are just damaged beyond repair. So we just have to consider these individuals casualties of the mess, basically. And most men falling in that category will not realize this or even want to admit it to themselves. But if you're really trying to pursue this from a from a pure standpoint, you really want this to work, and you really have a positive attitude towards this, you will be fair to yourself, and you'll be fair to women, to make sure that you are ready for it. And just the age-old saying, you have to crawl before you could walk. You can't just be a single man and just all of a sudden just bam bam, and then it's like now you have two women that you now have this agreement to, and now you're realizing, man, what was I thinking? So now you're just gonna have another two sisters just in a bad relationship, basically.
Yeah.
And we have too much of that going on. For some men it'll come naturally, right? And other men will have to develop themselves to that level, but must still possess the potential for that development, right? Okay, so to be a good husband, you need to have the mental, emotional, and financial stability that allows you to comfortably cater to the emotional, intimate, and financial needs of a woman. I had a discussion with a young lady last night, actually, and she was telling me about her relationship, and she was telling me that she does not feel like her man is on her team.
Yeah, that was sad.
Right? And I could understand what she's saying. She said he never asked her about work. She will tell him about a situation she has going on at work, and then
he doesn't follow up.
He will not follow up. Your wife, man was not meant to live alone, right? We are scientifically, we are pack natured. We you know, a lot of our existence deals with us being able to live together. So now we are emotionally dependent on each other to a certain point. So now when you have man and woman partnering, and they're partnering to live a life together, you know, even if not at first, but eventually they're gonna be emotionally dependent on each other. And you know, women, I notice women more than men need that, and men have to be able to provide that. And now we get to where are we here? You see? Right. The man has to be a woman loving man, right? You have a lot of men that just have like an overall negative concept about women, a negative disposition about women. You know, again, through their experiences growing up, their early relationship experiences, they've just gotten scarred, and to them, women are not much to them. Women are problematic to them, right? You know, a man that is able to be a good husband, you know, he has to be a man-loving woman. He must not see women as a bad thing. You know, he must yearn for women.
Because
right?
you're going to be around them all the time if you have more than one. They're going to be around you.
Well,
all
we haven't
the time.
even gotten to the more than one yet. We've just gone to what it takes for a man to be a, you know, a good husband, period.
Yeah.
Right? The man has to be able to provide for his woman and his family financially. Right? It is my stance that if a woman does not want to work and wants to stay home to take care of the children, a man should be able to make that happen. You know, again, when you break down the science of our species, you know, again, I will compare us to lions. When you look at the lions, the female go out and do the hunting, right? Mm-hmm. With our species, it's different. The men have always been you know, we've done the gathering, we've done the farming, you know, we are the one who goes out and bring food to the table. The women now, you know, take care of the family, teach the children at an early age, you know, make sure that her family is you know, is fed, her babies are fed, and you know, just make sure the man has the support he needs. So, you know, if a woman wants to stay home, then the man should be able to make that possible. You know, if she doesn't, then hey. But like I said, it's a contract. But what you will find though is that it works better that way. You have the children get a better childhood out of it. You know, just the entire family just you know is able to be more stable with that dynamic, right? You know, I hear a lot of talk about, you know, some men wanting polygyny because it's their business plan. They're gonna have a few women here, you know, 2-3 women going out and bringing in the income. You know, that's basically, you're a pimp. That's what you are. You know what I'm saying? You're a pimp, and you know, pimping and polygyny, that is two different things, right? Basically, a pimp just manages, you know, the finances that the whores actually earn, right? And you know, and a polygynous man, you know, manages his family, you know, in a positive way, right? So you guys are just pimps. Yeah, we get a lot of letters from single mothers struggling to take care of their families, right? These women are in relationships where it is them, their children, and they have a grown son there who they sleep with. right? They have a growing son because they're actually taking care of these people. And these same men have the audacity to tell them, you know, hey, I want another woman. And then, you know, see, I could have another woman. It's, you know, it's our ways. It's the ways of our people. You know, you're just a westernized woman. It's like, are you serious? Man, a man who does not provide for his family is worse than an infidel, according to the Bible. It's somewhere in there.
It is. It's in the
Right,
New
I'm
Testament.
just not the verse quoting.
It's in the New Testament. Just type in infidel.
Right. Now, I personally, man, like one of my principles, if you want to call it, is that, man, I'm not comfortable with my woman prostituting herself to corporate America. When you really look at the economic system that's in this country, that's what ends up happening. Now, a man pursuing polygyny, right? So I just went into the characteristics of a good husband. Now we're gonna look at so if you're going into polygyny, you have to already be a good husband, right? But you have to be a different breed of a good husband. You have to be not just a good husband, but a man who is able to be a good husband to more than one women, right? So the man, he must be an upright and a decent man with good intentions, all right, and not deviant desires or violent intentions. You know, you can't have any kind of, you know, filth in the closet going on somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because you know you're gonna have children involved here. You know, and right now you're trying to expand. It's already bad some of the times, you know, just with the monogamous families, but now you're going to put, like, you know, another dynamic here, which, you know, just create room for you know, for other things to go around. So, you know, you must have your household like real tight, you know, when it comes to decency. Since that man is trying to grow his family, he must be you must be a family man, or rather a family first man. You know, you must be the kind of man that, you know, your family is your business. You see what I'm saying? This right there, this is just my, you know, my extracurricular vibe over here. But what I'm about is my family, right? Yeah, you know, you have to be the kind of man that understand that, like, your main purpose, the reason for your existence is to be there for your family. You know, you're no longer an individual anymore. You know, who am I? I'm her husband, and I'm her husband as well. You know, I'm their father. You know, that is who I am. You know, I'm not me anymore. Okay, I'm going to skip that part there. This is just a little side thing going on here. Okay, now that man has to be a natural born rock solid leader, because you're going to be the head of a complex household, and you have to be able to head that household without it stressing you out or wearing you out or being a burden on you, right? You have to have the mental capacity and stability to implement ordinances, make decisions, and give rulings in a household with a more complex dynamic than monogamy. Alright? Yeah, now the man now, in order to do that, you have to possess the power that will make your woman or women naturally and automatically submit to your authority without any kind of psychological manipulation or intellectual undermining. You know, that's the other thing about a pimp. A pimp uses psychological manipulation and intellectual undermining. Yeah, baby, how about me and you go get this money? You know, when it's she that's getting the money. But he just manipulated her to think that it's a team effort, when, you know, it's really not. Right. So, you know, you have to have that. You have to exude that level of masculine energy that makes a woman recognize, you know, your authority automatically. You have to be able to tune into the natural woman inside of her, you know, bring it to the forefront, you know, strengthen it and nurture it and just let it flourish. Because if you're not that kind of man, then it's gonna be difficult for you to, you know, to handle two women. And a lot of men, their method of solving that problem is to dominate the women by force. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Dominate the women by force. And it works. From what, you know, I've seen, it works, but then it really don't, because you just have a bunch of mess at the end. You know, it's just people just killing themselves. All right. And that man, you have to be the kind of man that, you know, you like to see your woman happy. You know, you have to have an earnest desire to see your woman happy, and that will benefit your relationship. Because from what I've seen, my experiences, personal and third party experiences, an unhappy woman is just an abomination to any relationship. Mm-hmm. You know, monogamous or polygynous. Mm-hmm. You have to have the spirit of a conquering warrior. You're going to have a family that's going to be scrutinized, right? You're going to be looked at, talked about. You have to be able to defend your family appropriately. Yep. You know, and you must not hesitate to do that when the time arises. You know, women have to get security from their men. You know, a woman cannot be married to you and her fearing that, or her feeling like you're not man enough to protect her, right? And the most important part of all, the man has to have the intelligence and discipline to be able to choose. The man has to have the intelligence and discipline to be able to choose the right woman or women. Mm-hmm. Right? Because no matter how good of a man you are, if you are unable to pick the good ones from the bad ones, then it's not going to work. Because, you know, you're going to be dealing with something here that, you know, your part is working, but her part is working. So when you bring it together, it's not going to work. Yeah. I've never met or heard of a poly family that was destroyed from the outside. It's never been, you know, somebody who was not part of the family that came and broke it up. It's always been someone in the family. You know, the man either being selfish, you know, and it's typically the man who broke it up, or the third one, you know, not the first wife, but the subsequent wives. Okay. You know, and that's why, like right now, today, how long? From 2004, mm-hmm. So 8 years, mm-hmm. 8.5 years in this journey. That's why I'm still monogamous, man. I mean, me personally, man, I love my family and I like what it is. I love what I've built, and you know, to me, it's like forget everybody else. Like, you know, forget that girl that think that, you know, her fine looking ass is gonna, you know, provide me with more happiness than my family. You know, so it's you know, it's serious, and if you're not taking it serious, then you're leading yourself into some doom right there. Yeah, me personally, man, if I'm bringing another woman into into my family, you have to love my family more than you love me. You know what I'm saying? You have to get along with my wife. You have to like my children. You know, and you know, I don't think it's right for a man to go behind his wife's back to pursue another woman, right? Me personally, any woman coming in there has to get along with my wife and is going to be subject to approval, right? After you get in, you know, you're going to be her equal, you know, but initially you're going to have to be subject to approval because it's her family too. You know what I'm saying? It's not just my family, it's her family too that you're becoming a part of. So if it's not going to work for her, then it's not going to work. You know, you have men that go behind the women's back. You know, I don't think that is a right thing or a smart thing. Because a lot of time it brings along, you know, calamity, and any act you commit that brings along calamity, and you know, like it's inevitable, you're being stupid.
Yeah.
Right? If your woman is not cool with you, with that particular woman, and you're unable to appeal to her reasoning to get her to be cool with that woman, you still shouldn't do it. Honestly, even if she's just being a bitch, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you chose that bitch, right? If your woman is unaccepting of polygyny, if she still has a monogamous mindset, and you're unable to appeal to her reasoning and get her to see the benefits therein, you still shouldn't do it. You know, even though she's just being a selfish, westernized woman, at the end of the day, you know, you married that selfish westernized woman. The point is, you have to be a man and own your choice. You know what I'm saying? You have to own your choice. You know, you cannot just, you know, basically have an agreement with a sister and then somewhere down the road, you know, flip the script on her without her being comfortable with it. And then later on, you know, it basically ends up with you and her living a life of misery. The agreement you all had was not for her to live a life of misery. Mm-hmm. Right? That is why it is very important for a man to choose the right woman. And I know a lot of men who already understand this and they profess it, but then I've seen straight up, you know, that woman comes along with that nice round butt and they dump all that out the window. And you'll wonder, you're like, oh no, dude, I know her, you know, she's not, yeah, no. You're like, oh no, still, let me holler at her. You know, let me holler at her. Man, me personally, I am not wasting my time trying to convince a westernized woman about polygyny. That right there, I do not have. I rather invest my time in so many other things before I waste my time doing that. Because there's a stubborn mindset when you get in that arena that you're gonna encounter. Right, so yeah, you need to be a man and own your choice. You cannot destroy what you've already built, right? This is about building, not destroying. Building strong families, the core of a strong community, the core of a strong nation. All right, it really, like, it really disgusts me, honestly, when a man complains about his woman. At the end of the day, man, whatever issues are, dude, you know, my stance is you should have done a better job in choosing a woman, you know. But right now, that's your woman. You just have to be the man and deal with it. You have to take charge and, you know, handle it the way you have to handle it as a man. And to me, going behind her back to pursue a subsequent woman, you are actually proving that you lack the capacity to be committed and responsible for one woman. So what makes you think you deserve another? What makes you think you could handle another? The best chance for properly functioning polyfamily is one where all the adults entered into it consenting, with full knowledge of it, and with a pure desire towards it. And if you're unable to achieve that, then you're just simply not man enough for polygyny. You know, if you're unable to have, you know, your wife who properly understands it, and because of her understanding, you know, she wants to go there with you, and if you're unable to find that other woman that properly understands it and wants to join your family, then you know it's you're not capable of it. That's just simply what it is. You know, the science speaks for itself. And to me personally, like, having a second wife is just not that important. There are so many things in life I would put before that. So many other things I want to accomplish that I will focus my efforts on more than that. This is why I'm not there making videos and trying to push it. I'm not part of any kind of poly groups, right? You know, I just basically, you know, look at things, have certain discussions with a few people and stuff, read about it. You know, me and my wife talk about it, but you know, I rather engage in other things. There's so many other things out there that I see that would benefit me more than a second wife. And when you think about it, only when you get to that mindset, that's when you're really ready for it. When you get to the mindset where it's, you know, it's not a big deal, you know, I'm chill, but I properly understand it and I see the benefits. So, you know, it's something that I'm open to, you know, but I'm not just going to be, you know, like a hungry dog, polygyny, polygyny, polygyny. Hey girl, you know, I have a wife and, you know, and she's cool with me having another wife. What say you? Right? When you're like that, to me, like, you're prioritizing horribly. You know, you're not putting your life in the proper order, or you're not putting the important things in your life in the proper order. So I hope I said that right. I hope you'll understand me. And the irony of it is, only when you get to that point, when you properly understand what polygyny is, when you properly understand its importance, and you realize, you know, that it's not something that you should just be relentlessly just pursuing and looking after, that's when you are really ready for it. When you're able to focus on and just continue to be, you know, the proper father to your children, the proper man to the wife you already have, and put that first, right? That's when you're man enough for another woman. Oh, that's all.
That's it. All right. Thank you so much for doing that video, and hope everybody's having a good time during the fall feast. So, shalom, lalatov, good night.